And if we found that someone violated it, we would take action against them.
I guess you're here because of the strike?
We had a deal, Mayor. You told me this town would be the perfect place for one of our fulfillment centers.
Jeff Bezos is freaking out after South Park roasted him as the creep he really is. The show tore into his obsession with control, exposing how he blames others for his wrecked policies. All this while Amazon spirals through union fights, worker crackdowns, and a crisis he can't hide.
This is private property. All strikers leave. It's an employee who suffered a workplace accident. You were wrongly packaged into a box, and now if anyone tries to open it, your insides will burst apart. So you seek revenge.
South Park painted Jeff Bezos as an alien overlord, and the creepy part is how accurate it feels. In Unfulfilled, he doesn't walk. He doesn't talk like a human. He beams thoughts straight into people's minds.
Do you know who I am?
Yeah, you're Jeff Bezos.
And you...
That's not random comedy. That's the writer saying Bezos is so far removed from normal life, he might as well be a different species.
You made everything nice and convenient, didn't you, Bezos? But humans are more than consumers.
That's very eloquent for a box. A box that is the last thing standing in the way of real economic progress for this town.
Look at what's happening now. Amazon fired over 150 unionized delivery drivers in Queens the second they pushed back. Organize, and you're gone. Senators are ripping into Amazon's scheduling system that gives workers almost no warning before shifts.
Not anymore. Anyone who went on strike is fired. You are no longer necessary.
A computer spits out a time slot, and families get wrecked trying to keep up. That's the machine South Park roasted years ago. A system that runs on bodies, not empathy.
Meanwhile, Amazon says it's training new workers to replace the strikers. However, because the workers previously worked in a mall, they've had no human contact for quite some time.
In the episode, when a worker gets crushed into a box, the company doesn't treat it like a tragedy. It calls it human error. That's the punchline, and it hits because Amazon actually thinks like that. Efficiency first, humans second. South Park nailed that mentality and exaggerated it into horror comedy, but the bones of it are real.
Not really sure why everyone is so...
Disgruntled, dissatisfied, unamused.
Bezos in the show doesn't negotiate, doesn't compromise, doesn't even care. He tells the mayor her Prime membership is at risk. That's the whole model boiled down. The customer always comes first, even if workers collapse in the process. The writers flipped the corporate motto into a cartoon threat, and it landed because that's how the company behaves. Creepy, cold, untouchable. South Park turned that into a roast so sharp it still stings.
Would you like to know why Amazon is so successful? Because the customer is all that matters. Now orders are going unfulfilled all over the state of Colorado. That makes us look very bad. It makes...
Then comes Josh's accident. A worker literally gets crushed into a box, and Amazon's response? Human error. Not a malfunction, not a safety oversight, but human error. Josh ends up permanently trapped in a cardboard box, his organs compacted, and he can't get out without dying.
Socialist ideas will never work, Box. I'm going to put an end to you.
Not today, you won't.
Against...
It's mine, I got it.
But here's the kicker. Instead of becoming a broken victim, Josh transforms into this Marx-quoting revolutionary who starts dropping truth bombs about class struggle and worker exploitation.
There actually was this guy at my job. I guess he was like some older guy, and I guess he hated Amazon so bad that he killed himself. Like literally at the job. Literally.
Meanwhile, the kids are trying to participate in a bike parade, ordering decorations and costumes online like typical consumers. But when the workers go on strike, suddenly nobody's getting their packages. The whole town descends into chaos because people literally don't know how to function without Amazon deliveries. South Park nails this dependency perfectly, showing how we've all become addicted to instant gratification.
Damn you! You made everything nice and convenient, didn't you, Bezos? But humans are more than consumers.
That's very eloquent for a box. A box that is the last thing standing in the way of real economic progress for this town.
When the mayor tries to explain the workers' demands, Bezos doesn't care about human suffering. He only cares that orders are going unfulfilled. The man literally threatens to revoke the mayor's Prime membership as punishment.
Hello, children. Uncle Jeff has a surprise for you. Who wants a special present for the bike parade?
Oh my god.
Whoever opens the box gets what's inside.
Bezos' response to the strike reveals South Park's most cutting observation about corporate power. He doesn't negotiate with workers or address their concerns. He simply brings in replacement workers from the abandoned mall. The show brilliantly connects Amazon's rise to the death of traditional retail, showing these zombie-like mall employees who've been left behind by the shift to online shopping.
You can call it the fulfillment center. Like, who are we fulfilling? Like, because I don't feel fulfilled at all. So that's a great question, Amazon. Huh? If you're watching this, Amazon, or Jeff Bezos, whoever you are, how is this?
Before we dive deeper into this corporate takedown, I need to mention something that'll blow your mind about South Park's research process. These writers don't just make stuff up. They study their targets with surgical precision, and what they discovered about Amazon's internal operations would make Bezos himself uncomfortable. Subscribe if you want more breakdowns like this, because we're just getting started.
Being a fulfiller isn't hard. You just follow a few basic steps.
No, that's facts. It's not hard. It's just a few basic steps. But doing the same thing over and over and over again, barely.
What's particularly genius about this episode is how it shows the circular trap we're all caught in. The workers need their jobs to survive, but those same jobs barely pay enough to cover their Amazon purchases. Steven works at Amazon to afford the things his family orders from Amazon. It's an endless cycle where Bezos profits from both sides of the equation.
The same thing over and over again, the unrealistic rates you have to hit or else you're fired. Please.
South Park doesn't just attack Amazon's labor practices. They expose the psychological manipulation behind the entire system. The episode shows how Amazon has conditioned us to equate convenience with necessity. When deliveries stop coming, people lose their minds. They can't figure out how to get basic items without next-day shipping. The mall scenes are particularly haunting, showing the wasteland that traditional retail has become. Josh's transformation into a revolutionary leader while literally trapped in a box is South Park at their most symbolically brilliant. Here's a man whose body has been destroyed by corporate machinery, yet his mind has been liberated. He starts preaching about overthrowing capitalism while unable to physically move. It's both tragic and inspiring. His speeches about the ruling class versus the working class hit different when they're coming from someone who's been literally crushed by the system.
And then you're spending half your money on Amazon items too. So you're working at the place. You're probably packaging your own order. Working at Amazon to make money at Amazon, to go to Amazon, to buy from Amazon. That's it for.
But here's where South Park reveals their deepest insight. The workers eventually give up their strike. Not because their demands are met, but because they realize they need Amazon as much as Amazon needs them. The system has made itself indispensable. Even the striking workers have to cross their own picket line because they need to buy things online. Bezos appears again near the end, and his reaction to finding replacement workers is chilling. He doesn't see humans. He sees consumer workers willing to box. The language itself reveals how corporate thinking dehumanizes people into economic functions. Workers aren't employees with families and dreams. They're just labor units that happen to also consume products. The bike parade subplot serves as the perfect metaphor for what we've lost. Kids used to make things, build things, create with their hands. Now they just order pre-made decorations online and wait for delivery. When that system breaks down, they're helpless. Butters wants to give his prize money to help his dad, showing how even children are absorbed into this economic anxiety.
All that matters to me. What if we never get what we're asking for from the
Bezos
start?
watching?
What if they just get others to do all the boxing for us?
Steven's final character arc is where South Park delivers their emotional knockout punch. This man, who seemed like a bad father at the beginning, reveals he's been killing himself at Amazon, specifically for his son's future. When he says his family is all that matters, we understand the true cost of Bezos' empire. It's not just exploiting workers, it's destroying the relationships those workers are trying to preserve. Amazon's response to bringing in replacement workers shows their true priority: customer fulfillment over human dignity. The company doesn't care about working conditions, fair wages, or employee safety. They only care that orders keep getting processed. Bezos literally says, "The customer is all that matters," while workers are getting crushed by machinery.
Amazon is literally 10 hours, so you pretty much wake up, go to work for 10 hours, come back home.
What makes this episode prophetic is how accurately it predicted our current relationship with Amazon. We've become even more dependent on online shopping since this aired, especially after recent global events. South Park saw where this was heading: a world where a single company controls so much of our daily commerce that we can't function without it. The final confrontation between strikers and customers reveals South Park's ultimate point about class warfare. The people fighting each other, workers wanting dignity and customers wanting convenience, should be on the same side against the system exploiting them both. But Bezos has successfully divided them by making each group blame the other, instead of questioning why one man's wealth depends on everyone else's desperation.
Oh my God, it's just so funny because I'm just like relating to it.
This episode doesn't just roast Jeff Bezos, it exposes how his entire business model depends on breaking the human spirit just enough that people accept exploitation as normal. Workers get paid just enough to survive but not enough to thrive. Customers get convenience but lose their connection to how things are actually made and who suffers to make them. South Park's portrayal of Bezos as this alien overlord isn't random. It reflects how disconnected billionaire tech bros have become from human experience. When you have that much wealth and power, other people's pain becomes abstract data points rather than real suffering. The episode suggests Bezos has transcended normal human empathy, viewing worker deaths as mere operational hiccups.
Jeff Bezos? The founder and CEO of Amazon? Yeah, we helped him find workers to work during the strike. So he found our orders and had them sent to us. Well, can he find my packages too?
No, they said the workers are still on strike. They don't know when our orders...
Alexa, can I have my stuff shipped from a different... No, that is a bad dog, Banjo. Bad dog.
What happened after this episode aired tells you everything about its accuracy. Amazon didn't laugh it off or ignore it. They actually started damage control campaigns about worker conditions and warehouse safety. When a cartoon makes you defensive enough to launch PR initiatives, you know they hit a nerve. South Park didn't just destroy Jeff Bezos in this episode. They revealed the uncomfortable truth about how his empire is built on our collective willingness to prioritize convenience over conscience. And judging by Amazon's stock price, most of us are still choosing convenience. Subscribe to our channel for more South Park Unseen content in our next video.